Tone a little bit, be a little more somber, and a little bit shift our thoughts to our veterans. So I have some prepared comments, and then I think we have a bit of a program that we're going to go through. I hope people that are remote can hear me and see what we're doing here. John F. Kennedy said, quote, "The cost of freedom is always high, but Americans have always paid it, and one path we shall never choose, and that is the path of surrender or submission," end quote. Our great country was founded on the principles outlined in the Declaration of Independence. We hold these truths to be self-evident, that all men are created equal, that they are endowed by their Creator with certain unalienable rights, that among these are life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. Kind of parenthetically, if you ever want to talk about that with me, I have very passionate views about the order of that phrasing and have read a lot about why the founders put it in that order: life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. Those rights were secured by the selfless sacrifice of men and women throughout the ages during the American Revolution, World War I, World War II, the Vietnam War, and the wars in Iraq and Afghanistan. It is because of them that we enjoy our rights here today. Honor them with your reverence, your respect, and your continued remembrance. We all have connections to this great legacy, and I've shared this with you before. I stand before you today a direct descendant of 19 patriots of the American Revolution. I'm the grandson of 2 World War II veterans and a Korean War veteran. I'm the son of a Vietnam veteran and 23-year Navy veteran. And I'm the father, currently, of an Army officer, a helicopter pilot. Having spent most of my youth living and playing on military bases, I have a deep and abiding respect for those who have served this great nation and for those who do so today. My challenge to each of you here today is to find your own connection to this great American legacy of sacrifice for freedom. Veterans Day was established to honor all of Americans' veterans, past and present. It is a day to say to those still with us that we honor what they accomplished for all true Americans. Yes, we also remember those who have gone before us, but today is a day that we enjoy the camaraderie of those we honor. I'd like to close with a personal statement that I put in this card to each of our veterans. As Veterans Day approaches, I'm struck by the sacrifices that so many of you have made for us. Truly, freedom is not free. Truly, freedom is not, nor never has been free. Thank you for the enduring contributions you have made of your life, time, and health in pursuit of our most sacred individual freedoms, life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. Without you, we would not be able to exercise these freedoms daily. Without you, we would not be able to work in such a great company together. And without you, we would not be who we are individually, as communities, and as friends and families. May God bless you and your loved ones always for the selfless sacrifices you have made on behalf of all of us in this great country. May God bless our veterans, and God bless the USA. I'll turn the time now over to LaDonna for the national anthem. Thank you.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we held at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
Veterans Day was established to honor all of America's military veterans, both past and present. It's a day for us to honor what they accomplished serving in the military for each one of us who are Americans in this room. We also remember those who served and have gone before us, but it is a day where we can enjoy the comradeship of the U.S. military veterans that we honor that are in our midst. At this time, I would like for all U.S. Army veterans to come forward for an accountability formation. Please come forward, U.S. Army veterans. The U.S. Army was founded in June 14, 1775 with heroes of Washington, Jackson, Grant, Pershing, MacArthur, Eisenhower, Schwarzkopf, Murphy, Snyder, Martin, and those that stand before you. Hooah! Hooah! Thank you, U.S. Army. You are dismissed. Attention to orders. U.S. Navy veterans, please come forward for your accountability formation. The U.S. Navy was founded October 13, 1775 with heroes of Jones, Farragut, Perry, King, Nimitz, Housley, O'Hare, Sane, and these who are standing before you. This is former Ensign Eugene Duncan. Thank you, Eugene. Dismissed. Now we will honor the U.S. Marine veterans in our midst. The U.S. Marines were founded November 10th, 1775. Their heroes were Fuller, Daly, Butler, Faslone, Glenn, Boynton, Hathcock, Diamond, Foss, and the proud U.S. Marines who are members of our team. And for anyone who does not know a Marine, you need to know that once a Marine, always a Marine. Our flag's unfurled today. Hoorah, U.S. Marines, you are dismissed. Thank you for your service. At this time, we will honor the members of the U.S. Coast Guard. The U.S. Coast Guard was founded August the 4th, 1790. Its heroes were Monroe, Crotty, Flores, Weber, Fitzgerald, Mask, Lisley, Brackenthal, and the USA truck team members who were members of the U.S. Coast Guard. However, it does not appear that we have any in the building today. Dismissed Coast Guard. And finally, the last branch that was organized for the United States military, that is the United States Air Force. The Air Force was founded September 18, 1947. Its heroes were Rickenbacker, Arnold, Doolittle, James, Olds, St. John, LeMay, Yeager, and the USA truck team members that serve in the U.S. Air Force. Thank you for your service, and you are now dismissed. At this time, we would like to honor the missing men who served in the U.S. military and who have not yet been recovered. You may notice this table that is to my right, and its purpose is to honor our missing soldiers, airmen, sailors, Marines, and members of the Coast Guard. Let me explain the meaning of the items that you see on the table. The table is round, and that is to show our everlasting concern for our missing military members. The tablecloth is white, and it symbolizes the purity of their motives when answering the call to duty. There's a single red rose that's displayed in a vase, and it reminds us of the life of each of the missing and the loved ones and friends of these Americans who keep the faith, awaiting answers to their fate. The vase is tied with a red rose. It's a symbol of our continued determination to account for the missing. The slice of lemon on the bread plate is to remind us of the bitter fate of those captured and missing in a foreign land. A pinch of salt symbolizes the tears endured by those missing and their families who seek answers. And the Bible represents the strength gained through faith to sustain those lost from our country. The glass is inverted to symbolize their inability to share in a toast. The chair is empty because they are missing. We want to thank each and every individual who is a member of our team that served in the U.S. military. Each and every one of you are heroes. I have a cousin that married a U.S. Navy pilot, and he flew a COD, which was carrier onboard delivery from the Philippines to the carriers that were on Yankee Station off of Vietnam during the Vietnam War. And I've heard him say that he didn't feel like he did anything because he didn't serve directly in combat. It's not combat that makes you special. It's the fact that you answered the call and that you served. And for that, we thank you. So let's give another round of applause to all of our service members. I believe that we have a cake that's going to be available. We'd like for our veterans to be the first ones to get a piece of the cake. And it's going to be carried to the break room and will be available. And once again, thank you for serving. And it's about time that USA Truck with the star and bars on the side of the trucks and the tractors delivers some freight safely and on time. Thank you.